Technology Solution 4.0 is at the forefront of meeting the increased living demands of the era. Blockchain, artificial intelligence, fintech are the core platforms for today's technology development. Blockchain development is an indispensable need for society. Global industries such as financial services, healthcare, tourism, information technology, and others are demanding a system that enables innovation, profitable, transparent business, enhanced security, reduced costs, increased efficiency and speed. To illustrate that, a blockchain game development startup has successfully announced a $1.5 million capital raising. Built on a community basis, this is a startup that has implemented a strategy to develop the blockchain game industry to a new level.
Welcome to the show of Sharing Vietnam on VTC10 NetVid channel. As you know, Sky Mavis, the parent company of blockchain based game Axie Infinity, closed their funding round at $1.5 million. Today, we have invited to our show Mr. Jeff Leclerlin, growth lead of Sky Mavis, a technology startup in Vietnam. Hello, Mr. Jeff. Thank you for taking your time to join the show today.
Thank you, and thanks for having me.
Was the occasion that changed your vision to build a technology startup in Vietnam?
So I've always been interested in blockchain technology and new technologies in general. But it wasn't until I learned about how blockchain could change gaming and how developers interact with their audiences or their community that I actually got interested in working in the blockchain field as a career. And so there was an early blockchain game called CryptoKitties, and I actually met Trung, who's Vietnamese, and yeah, we got to know each other and we became quite close. And he actually started a project that was called Axie Infinity. It was, you know, like, I thought it was interesting, like combination of things like Pokemon, Tamagotchi, but you could actually own a part of the game and make money because we're using this blockchain technology. So I thought that was really interesting. And I've always wanted to live in Asia. So when he asked me to move to Asia or to Vietnam, yeah, I thought it was an interesting adventure. So.
What are the differences between working in a startup and working in a large corporation?
Well, so I've never actually worked in a large corporation in my life, so I don't have much experience. I've always been kind of in the startup space, but I think my impression is that in a startup is more small, you move faster, you have to do experiments. It's okay to make mistakes. It's not just about like kind of running an existing set of playbooks, I guess. It's about creating new markets, you know, trying to figure out where there's demand. I think, you know, there's a lot of uncertainties with the startups because, you know, if you're doing a startup right, you're doing something that's never been done before. So there's no like kind of pre-existing plan to follow. You have to kind of use your intuition and use data to kind of drive how you approach the market. So I think yeah, that's different. And then I think in a startup you become very close with all the members of the team, especially, you know, when you start out there are only a couple and then it grows and grows, hopefully. So yeah, I think like, you know, it's a really interesting journey where you're spending, you know, most of your time with these people. So.
In the Vietnamese market, what are the potentials for technology startups in general?
I think Vietnam is an amazing place to start a tech startup. There's a lot of developer talent here, so the software engineers are really great. The designers, I think, are quite talented. And then, yeah, Vietnam has a very young population, so people who are interested in like using applications and internet. So I think it's a really growing market. I also think that for us, what's really amazing is that we're able to be located in Vietnam, so our costs can be quite low. But then we we kind of tap into a global market because we use blockchain, right? So, we have players from the United States, Japan, Europe, also like Asia, but it's not, we're not a Vietnamese startup with a user base that's only in Vietnam. Our user base is actually quite global. I think around 6% of our players now are from Vietnam. So.
Could you please share with us the story behind about the successful journey that Sky Mavis had when calling for investment?
I think what's really interesting about Axie is that we have a really amazing community. There's actually a relatively proven network business model. So I think we were able to attract funds from both crypto funds, but also conventional venture capital fund like 500 startups. So yeah, actually when we were raising, there was actually a bear market in cryptocurrencies, the prices all dropped. So that was maybe a tough environment to raise money in, but actually we had a momentum building event in January. We basically sold digital land to our community, and I think that opened up a lot of eyes among investors and basically the potential for our platform.
Around the world, the dramatic technological transformation is taking place day by day, hour by hour, transforming many industries and different economies. In particular, blockchain technology promises to make a major breakthrough. In Vietnam, the startup ecosystem is becoming more and more dynamic, which is a fertile ground for developing blockchain-based applications.
Thì điều đầu tiên là cảm thấy rất là vui, tại vì thứ nhất là team đã chứng minh được cho các nhà đầu tư cũng như là các bạn bè quốc tế về cái khả năng của team cũng như là cái sức hút và một cái chứng minh về cái thị trường. Cái thứ hai là các nhà đầu tư thì ngoài cái nguồn vốn về nguồn lực tài chính thì họ có những cái nguồn lực khác như là các mối quan hệ, như là những cái vòng ảnh hưởng của các nhà đầu tư, lẫn là những cái như kiểu marketing hay là những cái cơ hội kinh doanh khác. Thì team cảm thấy là được sự giúp đỡ của những nhà đầu tư thì cũng như có những người bạn đồng hành trên cái con đường còn rất là dài.
Mình nghĩ rằng là cái môi trường đầu tư ở Việt Nam hiện tại đang thu hút rất nhiều các cái quan tâm của các nhà đầu tư nước ngoài. Và để một startup mà nhận được vốn đầu tư của các nhà đầu tư nước ngoài thì mình nghĩ rằng một yếu tố đầu tiên là mình phải có một cái sản phẩm hoặc là một cái tính năng nó khác biệt so với thị trường để thu hút được để biết rằng là cái sản phẩm của mình khác biệt gì so với thị trường và cái điểm mạnh của cái sản phẩm đó. Đó là gì? Đấy là yếu tố đầu tiên. Và yếu tố thứ hai nữa là đối với một công ty startup thì là cái đội ngũ cũng rất là quan trọng. Thì là làm nào để xây dựng được một đội ngũ mà bởi vì hầu hết các công ty startup là chẳng hạn ở trong giai đoạn đầu thì làm nào các cái team member hỗ trợ nhau và phát triển cái sản phẩm đó. Đó là yếu tố cũng rất là quan trọng, bổ sung cho nhau những cái khả năng để phát triển công ty.
You brought to the show today a cute thing. What is it?
Definitely. So this is Puff. He is one of the mascots of Axie Infinity. He's actually Axie #1. He's owned by Sky Mavis, the parent company of Axie Infinity right now. So a lot of our community members are super excited for these plushies. We give them out at conferences, different events like meetups. There's actually only 1,000 of them that were created, and probably we won't create any more.
So how big is the Axie Infinity platform right now?
Sure. So there are around 4,000 people who own Axies, on like a monthly basis, around 500 people playing our game. So right now, we have a browser-based game, and it's quite difficult to start playing because you need a a cryptocurrency wallet, which a lot of people don't have or it's difficult for them to get. But actually we're building a mobile application which will be launched this winter, and that'll make it very easy for everyone to play, and just like a normal game. And you will just eventually be able to just get some free Axies that don't live on the blockchain and try it out. And so we think that that's going to attract a lot of new players, people who have also never interacted with cryptocurrency in any way, to our platform.
Out of curiosity, what do you think draws people to your platform?
Sure. So I think people's first impression is that the Axies are cute and they want to learn more. Next, so usually people will join the community and they'll find that, you know, behind these cute animals, there's actually a very complex and interesting system where you can actually earn cryptocurrency by, you know, by collecting these Axies. There are certain Axies that are very rare, and as the game grows in popularity, their prices can increase in value. So we actually just had an Axie sell for around $13,000 last week. You can also breed two Axies together. And the interesting thing is actually, although it costs around 20 cents to breed them and make a baby, the cheapest Axie on the market is around 70 or 80 cents because we carefully control the population. So just like there are people who breed dogs for a living, there's now people who are starting to breed these Axies and make a stream of income from it.
What strategies did Sky Mavis had when you decided to open a startup in the field of technology in Vietnam?
Sure. So I think you know, one of our core strategies is that we want to be a very community-driven game. So we give our players, you know, they own assets that actually represent a part of our game. So if we do well and Sky Mavis does well, so do our players. So they actually feel like members of the team. We actually have, you know, members of the community who will go out and present about our game at different conferences. We have people who have gotten Axie tattoos. There's all kinds of art and music made by our community. So I think it's really a community-driven project. Actually, when I first discovered Axie, I was also just a member of the community. I thought this was really interesting, and I was able to spread it to a lot of my friends who were playing, and then that's how I actually initially saw Axie. So I also come from the community, and I think that, yeah, we want this to be a very community-driven project. If you go into our Discord channel, which is like where all our community members, they're hanging out, it's also almost like a social network too, where they're just, you know, asking each other how they are, asking about their lives. If people have problems, they will, you know, a lot of them will come to the Axie community for advice and things like that. So I think, like, yeah, you know, being really community-driven is really at the ethos or core of what we're trying to do.
Up to now, what makes you feel most proud of regarding your startup journey?
So I think what I'm most proud of so far is how we've gone from, you know, being a very small team to based in Vietnam, to being able to compete with these, you know, multi-million-dollar game studios. And yeah, like, you know, the investment just means that we can continue to work on our vision, continue to build the game that the community has been pushing for over the last year and a half. So I'm really excited. I'm not sure even to say if I'm not even sure if I'm proud of anything yet. I'm just excited for the future. You know, recently we got investment, which just means that, you know, we have more time, more resources to build out this universe. And so I'm really excited for that.
What is your target for Sky Mavis down the road?
I think one of the core things that we're trying to do is introduce the benefits of blockchain to everyone. Right now, people only see cryptocurrencies and blockchain as something that they can use to speculate or make money, but it's a lot more than that.
Thank you so much for sharing with us your interesting startup journey. I wish you a great success in realizing your vision and mission.
Thank you for having me. Goodbye.
Thank you for watching. See you next time on a show of Sharing Vietnam, and goodbye.